message is only for 1% of the whole population of the world. So not a lot of people can relate to this message. But if you can relate to this message, know that it is for you. You were the kind of person who really wanted to be loved all of your life. You had this deep desire to be loved by anyone because when you were a child, you never felt loved in your life. You never felt loved by your family. You never felt loved by your siblings. You never felt loved by your friends, or you thought that they did not love you, even if it was not their intention, but that was what you felt like all of your life. And maybe you imagined like there's someone out there who's going to love you for who you are, someone outside of you, someone external who's going to tell you how lovable you are, who's going to tell you that you can be loved, you can be loved. So you waited for that person. Maybe you, like, I feel like you read some fantasy stories in your childhood where you read that a prince come and save the princess, or you watch some fantasy movies like Disney movies where you got the message that a prince is going to come you and save you from your misery and is going to tell you that how loved you are. But as you grew up, the reality kicked in and you realized that there is no prince in real life. When you realized this, you felt like maybe you are unlovable, maybe you would never be able to be loved by people. And not just love, you felt so misunderstood in your life as well by your family. You felt like you were invisible in your family, where maybe your siblings were hanging around with each other, maybe they had similar interests than you, maybe they were happy with each other and they were similar to each other, and you were like in the shadows looking at them and wondering to yourself that can I not be among those people? You felt like the black sheep. You felt invisible. You felt like people were hanging around with each other, but they couldn't see you. They couldn't see that you were longing to hang around with them as well. They couldn't see that you want to be around them as well. And you're longing for love, you're longing for connection, you're longing to be understood. You're so much deeper inside of yourself, from deep core of your heart, where when you grew up, like it covered with dust, and it is so inside of yourself that sometimes you don't understand it, but it is there because you can feel it. You can still feel the longing to be loved by people. You can still feel the longing to be admired by people, can still feel the longing to be connected with people. And I feel like when everyone was excited about the next top movies of the Netflix, where everyone was so excited about it and going crazy about it, you were there watching an underrated show. You were there watching an underrated show. You have always been like this. You have always been like this. When other people watch the show because it is so popular on the internet, you on the other hand watch the underrated shows. When everyone is going crazy about that famous main character and their personality, you secretly admire that side character which no one talks about, or either everyone hates them. You admire that character because you could see yourself in that character, because the way people ignored that side character, you could see that people ignoring you. The way that side character is invisible to the audience, you are the same way invisible to the audience. And I feel like you tied your words to the external things, like maybe your parent told you that honey you didn't do this, or you why you didn't do this, or why you did not get these grades on the exams. And instead of taking it as something about grades, you took it as my mom does not love me. If someone told you how much weight you have gained in the past 2 months, you would see it as I am not lovable. If someone would tell you that look how much pimples you have, and you would take it as I am not lovable. Or you had this sensitive soul that you felt like maybe this soul is a curse to you. Maybe this soul your weakness. Maybe you felt like maybe this soul is your weakness, but no honey, this soul is not your weakness, it is your strength. And we will come to this in the later part of the video. But I just want you to know that you are unique because Allah created you unique. You are unique and your path is unique to most of the people. You are not like other people. When other people are crazy about brands, you like don't go for brands. Like your soul is really unique, and even when you sit and talk to people, you cannot relate to a lot of topics because your soul yearns for something deeper than that, deeper than just like those gossips, deeper than that talking about celebrities. Your soul yearns for a talk, a real talk, not just talking about what's going on in other people's life. When you felt like that, like when you felt alone or when you felt misunderstood or when you felt unloved, you try to pour that love to other people so other people cannot feel the same way as you do. You try to tell people how loved they are. You try to tell people that you understand them, and that's how your understanding of human nature or humans grew. Like you're a human and you really truly want to understand people so they don't feel misunderstood in their life. You truly want to connect to people so they don't feel misunderstood in their life. You truly want to see people, like you truly want to make people feel seen. You truly want to make people feel heard. You truly want to make people feel and love. That is such a brave thing that you are doing. That is such a brave thing. And not like a lot of people talk about it. At some point of your life you wondered why Allah created you. You wondered, like, they are all same, they are all same, and I am like different. Maybe like what is the purpose of my creation? Like there are billions of humans on this planet, and what would happen if Allah did not created me? Like people don't see me, people don't value me, people don't love me, and I'm not like some kind of celebrity, or like I'm not a queen or princess or whatever. I am just a normal human. And what would happen if Allah did not created me? And you had these thoughts in your mind. You started to question your own existence. You started to question why Allah created you. But honey, it was all a part of Allah's perfect planning. You are here for a reason. And you are here for a reason, honey. Your existence is not for nothing. Your pain is not for nothing. Your suffering is not for nothing. Believe me, Allah sees it all. Allah sees it all. Like when you try to comfort other people, when you try to make them feel seen, and when you try to give them the best advice you could, a lot of people come to you for advice. A lot of people share their personal feelings with you because they feel that much safe with you. But when it's for your time, you are crying in your room alone, hugging your knees and crying. And when you are facing with problems, you don't know whom to ask because people don't understand those problems of yours. You are like, maybe I was there for nothing. But no, honey, you were not born for nothing. Your purpose is so much bigger, honey. Your purpose is so much bigger, and even if you cannot see it yet, trust that Allah is going to reveal it to you at the perfect timing. And I feel like a lot of people made fun of you because of your uniqueness. A lot of people called you with so many names, and it hurt you. It hurt so very deep within your soul, and you didn't know how to react to that. But this video found you to tell you that, honey, the biggest love that you have been searching all of your life, the love that you have been craving all of your life, was already there, even if you could not see it, was already there. And you know what was that love? It was not love of your family, it was not love of your mother, your father, your siblings, your friends. These are all good loves, healthy loves. I don't know if you have realized it yet or not, but your biggest love is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees it all. He sees when at the night you try to muffle your cries so no one can hear you, when you struggle with your problems alone, when you give other people those advice but you don't know what to do when you are alone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sees it all, and He's your love. He was always there for you, honey. He's closer than you think, honey. And has been protecting you. Allah has been guiding you. Allah has been loving you all of your life. Even when you were a kid, even when you were a teenager, even when you're suffering from those nights, he was there. He was there, honey. He wants you to know that he loves you. He wants you to know that he saw those sufferings of yours and your sufferings were not there for nothing. And he wants you to trust his plan. He wants you to trust his wisdom. He wants you to trust his love for you, honey. Because Allah, if you could see what he has planned for you, you would be in tears of joy. You would be in tears. You would not stand it. You would go and fall on the sajda because he has planned so much for you. You cannot imagine that plan of his for you. And even when you feel like you are alone, you are not. You are not, because Allah is always there with you and he is the greatest love of you. You don't need to search that love outside of you, honey. You don't need to search that love onto any material thing, onto any relationship, or anything in general, because that love is embedded deep within your soul. So I hope you truly understand that how much he loves you, and your true love is Allah and not anyone else at all. Your true love is Allah. So trust him. It doesn't matter. Your reality says something else. Trust him. Because you will soon be blessed with so much blessings. You will soon find your answers. You will soon find your answers. You will soon rewarded with much more than you intended or with much more than you imagined. And you know what? Allah loves these souls even more. You know, who has no one else to turn to except him, who has nowhere else to go except to him. So you think that Allah will come, so you think that you will go to Allah and he won't accept you? No, honey. When you take one step in his direction, he takes 10 steps in your direction. So someone who loves you so much, how could you feel unloved? How could you feel unappreciated? How could you feel you are not worthy? Because Allah thinks that you are worthy. Despite all of your pain and despite all of your sins, he loves you, honey. He knows you from inside and out. We humans wear masks to look a bit presentable. We humans wear masks so people could accept us or to fit in. But honey, he knows you from inside and out, and he chooses to love you regardless of everything. Regardless of everything. So Allah is your greatest love, honey. I want you to think about it when you are alone and when everything is quiet around you. Please think about the love of Allah. Please think about how much Allah loves you. And believe me, when Allah loves a servant, I don't know if you have ever heard about this hadith, but it is hadith Qudsi. When Allah loves a servant, he tells Jibreel to love that servant. And Jibreel loves that servant and he tells other angels to love that servant. And all angels that are on the sky love that servant, and then guess what? People start to love that person as well. So we chase people all of our lives. We chase their love, their validation, their approval. But you know what? If you start chasing Allah, if you start chasing His approval, if you start chasing His validation, then you won't only be detached from the validation of people, but also people will start to love you, but also people will start to compliment you and like they would fall in love with you. I am saying this because I have felt all of this in my life as well. And there are still times when we are not perfect humans and we struggle everything, but what is beautiful is we keep going regardless of our struggles. It is only a matter of time when people will love you and they will tell you how much they love you. And but your focus would be on Allah. Your focus won't be on their validation or their love, because your focus would on be Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I hope this message resonated with you, because it was difficult for me to communicate these things, because it is not easy for me to be vulnerable around people. I wanted someone to feel hope after listening to this video. If this message resonated with you, Know that Allah is seeing it all and Allah cares about it all. And Allah is going to turn the events in your favor. And you would be surprised. I love you. I love you so much. And thank you for existing. Even if you haven't found your passion or your purpose yet, I love you. It's okay to not have figured all of the answers. It is a matter of time when you will know about it. So I'm rooting for you and I cannot wait to hear that answer from you. So if you have figured out your soul's purpose, please let me know. If you have figured out your passions, please let me know. I am cheering for you. Okay? I want you to win in both worlds, in this dunya and in the akhirah. Ameen. I love you so much.